First session of the fifth test, England are 100 for 2. Zach Crawley impressing with a 61. But Kuldeep Yadav got the initial breakthrough, broke the 64-run stand by getting Ben Duckett out. And then Ollie Pope, just on the stroke of lunch, stumped. A very, very hostile spell from, you may say, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj. They bowled about, I think, 14 overs together, 7 over spells on the trot.
Yeah.
And Ashwin, a tad expensive, also fielding lapses also was evident in Ashwin. But Kuldeep Yadav, 7 years since his debut at this very same venue, shows that he is the X factor, 2 wickets. England kind of okay, 100 for 2, but they would have been better if it was 100 for 1. Pope's wicket at the stroke of lunch.
Which it nearly was.
Yeah, I think it was something that they didn't want to be in that situation.
Both wickets of Googlies?
Yeah, see the googly, I remember Ben Duckett, I didn't see this particular delivery what it was.
No, the Pope one was a googly.
Googly, yeah. But even
So
Duckett
both
was a googly.
Googlies, so yeah.
So both were out on googlies.
Very good catch by Shubman Gill though, the first wicket. So.
100 for 2. In terms of our prediction, I am the closest. 105 for 2, I had said. Next up is Siddharth with 110 for 2. And 98 for 3. While in terms of runs, it seems close, but that one wicket.
Yes.
But maybe Harshit can argue that, listen, you know, he was expecting the next batter to fall for a duck. If they had had one
I was just
over,
going by, let's say, what we've seen, let's say, from...
See, he got out and the play had to be stopped there.
Yeah.
What if the new batter had come out and gotten out for a duck? It would have been closest.
Yes.
100 for 3 it would have been.
Yep.
But it's not to be.
Last test match, first ball after the session resumed, you did get a wicket.
Yes.
So yes.
It was, I
who
think,
knows?
Bairstow who got out to Ravindra Jadeja. I think that was the wicket.
First ball it
Yeah,
happened,
first ball.
But 100 for 2, I think it's a situation where both teams would be okay, pleased. But I think England slightly happier of the two teams, because if you got 100 with 2 loss, you won the toss. And I think now it's also proving to be a right decision, because sometime you win the toss looking at the pitch, that's where you decide. But when you get to play, the overhead conditions play a major role, and then you begin to look foolish in terms of what you have decided. Much like what happened in the Ranji Trophy game very recently, where you had a situation where the coach then actually put the blame squarely on the captain in Sai Kishore, saying that, you know, we lost the match at the time the toss was done. That on
Much like what happened in the WTC final also.
yeah, but nobody really like blamed.
Nobody blamed.
Yeah, but
yeah.
in that case, it's
Lakshan Kulkarni openly blamed Sai Kishore.
straight up, and he's coming for a lot of criticism because of that. Yeah. So,
Indeed. See, if Tamil Nadu had won the match, it would have been hailed as a masterstroke. But they lost, and that too they lost it because the Mumbai tail continued to wag. So
yeah, so the toss that England had won, I think they'd be happy taking that decision to bat first. I must say, before we get into the Indian bowling, how good has Zach Crawley looked. Some of those shots right off, copybook cricketing technique that was shown. Brilliant drives, some of them that he hit. Also wasn't easy to bat on. So while they decided to bat first because there are a lot of runs expected, the overhead conditions did help. The ball was seaming around a lot. And it wasn't really easy. You had to bide your time. A close call for Crawley. Again, we'll talk about our favourite umpire, Joe Wilson, deciding to give it not out, which played a crucial role in the end. But tough conditions. Siraj, hitting him in the ribs once, beating him a few times. Then you had Bumrah beating the batters multiple times. Duckett looking more uncomfortable than Crawley in that phase. So wasn't easy phase for them to survive. But now that they have and put up 100 runs, which is at a decent pace right now, they didn't start off that quickly. They were slow to start off with, but 100 you'd be reasonably satisfied. To get 100 with 2 wicket loss, I think England marginally happy. When I say marginally, it'd be like 52, 48% sort of happiness for England. But India also will enjoy their lunch, much as England.
yeah, because they got the wicket of Pope at the stroke. If it was 105 for 1, then I think England would have been much happier.
Yeah, then it was a clear-cut winner in a session.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a very close call.
It can go down as a shared session, let's say, because you expect England to be scoring 100 runs, especially in the opening session, if not, less. The other thing again, why I think England...
The reason I'm giving them England more is the fact that if there was going to be any time where they could have lost wicket in the heap could be the first session.
Yeah.
Now that the first session is done, from here on, the next two sessions are going to be the best time to bat on. First stage page, best session to bat on, and you only lost 2. So you're in a great position to be 300 plus for 4-5 at the end of the day, which you set the tempo.
What gives England more satisfaction at the moment and relief, I would say, is because if you saw that opening spell, and those were long spells, let's say for both Siraj and Bumrah, they survived good 65-70 odd minutes. There were only about 45 runs on the board, and there were plenty of half chances. So when the ball was seaming around, when the ball was moving around, hostile spell as Siddharth quotes it to be, to be able to, and again, that's what you need at times. Maybe Zach Crawley, the fact that he endured and was able to, get past that session, that's exactly what you need at times to be able to get run, some luck. So the fact that was very good bowling, and unfortunate for India that you didn't get a wicket, but then you did bide your time, you did hang in there, which is why in those conditions, if those half chances were to convert, let's say, into full-blown chances for India, England could have been 1, 2, 3, whatever down, given the kind of bowling that you saw first up. In fact, 90 minutes that only scored 54 runs, they still got about 50 odd runs in the last half hour when the spinners came on.
And you're talking about luck. I mean, I will not forget, I think for me the ball of the session was 6.5. Bumrah angling it in,
squared him,
and it was a leg cutter at 85 mph or so. Crawley totally under. I was wondering how that didn't hit the stumps, or it didn't get an edge.
No, there was another one, I think it was before that though, when Ben Duckett, Jasprit Bumrah came round the wicket and squared him. The ball angling in and then beats the outside. That was a beautiful ball as well.
And also one more, there was a full delivery which Crawley chased. It just evaded gully. And that is the reason why you wondered, man, on any other given day, Bumrah would have taken at least 2 or 3 wickets.
At least.
But I'll tell you why that has not happened. This is what, because of the overhead conditions, you get that extra movement, which is what results. So what happens is when there is that slight extra movement, you miss the edge.
Yeah.
For the edge, you really need that marginal, slight, very subtle movement you get there. Now what happens is the bowling is so good that the batsman is not even good enough to get close to the ball, which is where you don't get the edge, and that's what happens in these kind of conditions, that those edges don't come because of that extra movement, which is where you can actually trap them leg before or get your bowl dismissal. And I think that Crawley thing, to the naked eye when I saw it, looked out. I don't know what is it that Joel Wilson saw that he gave it not out. Again,
he sees different things anyways.
But he is praised no end by the commentator.
I know.
As the best umpire that there ever is. Specialized.
DRS expert.
DRS expert.
This particular thing, that there's excess movement and that is why the batter had to miss it. It reminded me of that 36-37 incident in the Ashes.
36-37?
Yeah. I'll tell you why. Because in Melbourne.
Seen it.
It is a chronicle thing.
That's what I'm saying. Has he pulled some archival footage?
Because I'll tell you.
So graphic in his head.
36-37, the pitch in Melbourne was so bad because of the rain, because it didn't cover the pitch at that time. In the 30s and 40s, covered the pitch.
Yeah, you didn't cover till the 70s.
Yeah. So it had developed some crust, it had developed some unevenness. So Australia had a lead of 124, but then they knew that you would get all out for 50 or 60. We stuck with that batting order.
Reverse the batting.
Bradman reversed the batting because he felt the tailenders technique is so bad, they will miss the edge.
But here you are talking about good openers missing the edge because of the excess movement that you're getting. That's why it's unlucky. As I said, initially, if you see where there were no loss, 50, 60, whatever, they were at 1.60 for no loss. If someone just turned on the TV there, would have said, wow, what a day for England. But if you hadn't seen that it was all about survival, and that's credit, that's what Test cricket is. Which the other thing that it showed is that whole thing that we spoke about, they have put Bazball in the back burner.
Yeah.
Bazball is now only going to be played if it's like really flat conditions, nothing is happening, which anyway aggressive cricket any team plays. Like teams that play conventional Test cricket also will have aggressive phases in the game when they have really on top of the game, the pitch is doing nothing, the bowling is doing nothing, they'll get aggressive, as India were when Sarfraz and Jaiswal were batting the other day.
Rajkot.
Yeah, so on those occasions you will. So that whole mindset that even in tough conditions we'll play aggressively is gone. So now what England is, this is now 100% concluded that England have let go of Bazball. That's for sure, because if Bazball would have been there, even in tough conditions, they would have said, no, our Bazball approaches, ball is doing a lot, but we'll attack and get run. But they said, no, ball is doing a lot. Typical test match cricket, which is what you see, that I'll wait for my chance, I'll wait for my chance, I'll wait for my chance, loose deliveries I'll put to the boundary you got. Then when the movement goes away, then you play attacking cricket, which every other team does. So what this series will always be remembered for is the series where England said, no, test cricket as it had been played for hundreds of years is the right way. What we did give us headlines and got
good
people
marketing
talking, a marketing tool, whatever you could say, for a brief while. Eventually, we had to go back to what every other cricketer who had played test cricket before us did, which every other coach who coached any team before us did, because they also applied their brains and thoughts and came up with that way of playing test cricket. And we tried to be radical only to realize, no, test cricket is to be played a certain way. This series will be remembered, and this session also told us that.
They may have changed course in this series, and multiple times have they done that, but I still feel they'll be back on the same track once
But that's like saying, if you get Ahmedabad BGT pitch and playing Sri Lanka, and if India don't play aggressive cricket, and that'll be crazy. Then what is Bazball? You're saying that they will do it when there will be flatter conditions, maybe an opposition that is not troubling them, they'll play. Then that's not Bazball. Then that's playing to condition that every other team does. Bazball was, I don't care the condition. I don't care about opposition.
It had to be that. Just that Indian conditions proved to be a kryptonite, let's say, for Bazball. Because I see them.
They couldn't have expected these conditions. By the way, had the rank turners turned out to be kryptonite, then I would have agreed. But you got decent, good pitches to bat on, my friend.
Yep.
It's the Indian team that may have proved to be kryptonite for them. Too much quality.
Maybe a culmination of both the factors, let's say.
What other pitches could you have asked for better pitches?
I know Bazball wouldn't have asked for better pitches. You sort of concede that. But again, all the talk that was around Indian pitches, everything that they were expecting, some corner of the mind they would have, let's say, known, okay, we'll have this sort of a mindset, we'll do this, we'll do that. All of that, they had to
quality of attack.
Yeah.
In simple terms, the quality of attack. Pakistan, if you put India's bowlers on those roads, they wouldn't have conceded 600 and 100 run overs.
Wouldn't have.
That's the difference.
We kind of got roads. And also, see, it's not just giving up on Bazball, that aggressive approach. This Indian team has, with their thought process, and credit to this Indian team, even got them to rethink the sweeping approach. Where have the sweep shots gone?
Whereas Joe Root's
reverse sweep shots all have vanished. All have vanished because they have realized, and that's where credit to the Indian team, where the Indian team were trying to be, I think Indian team also went on the back foot first test match when they saw them sweep their way to a victory, and they realized, we have to find a way. They changed their lengths, they changed the way that they were attacking. They put the field places in a way that, okay, if you're going to do, which is what Indian teams have been lacking in the past in white ball cricket also, that you go with a plan A, the other team comes prepared for a plan A, you don't know what to do. Plan B. They quickly went to plan B, which has now resulted in England having to go to their plan B.
Yep.
All of that attacking approaches.
Plan B was not Bazball.
It has to be. It had to be. It is where it's ended. It will forever be remembered, this series, and for years that we will talk and write about it as journalists. This would be the series.
The graveyard for
Bazball.
They go play Bazball in Pakistan and flat pitches versus the Pakistan attack, then it can't be Bazball. Now then you're picking and choosing.
They'll pick and choose. That's what I'm saying. They'll pick and choose.
Bazball.
In many
That's
ways,
like what Test cricket everyone plays. Flat conditions, easy bowling lineup, you attack.
England's two major assignments in this World Test Championship are done, and it has ended in failure. Let us be very, very honest. Ashes in this. They are going to adopt this Bazball technique against whom now? West Indies, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, New Zealand. All the four teams are not currently setting World Test cricket on fire. Okay, New Zealand maybe to a certain extent can prove to be tricky because they did beat this England team in the Bazball era also, although by 1 run.
Yeah.
But against West Indies, Sri Lanka and Pakistan, are you seriously telling me that they're going to have this kind of a strategy? They will go back to 2022? Not a chance. 3 major tasks that you had in this Bazball era, all 3 have ended in failure. Number 1, you couldn't win the Ashes at home. It was a tie. Morally, you won the Ashes final.
What was moral victory? There's no moral victory.
There's no victory,
Okay.
no moral also.
You have been hammered in India. Let us make no mistake about it. Sure, you are behind the game, but then Rajkot was 434 runs. Let us not look at the micro picture and say, oh, you lost it on day 3, day 4 and day 5. No. You put up a fight in Vizag. You squandered the advantage in Ranchi. Let's see if they make it 3-2 here. Still, it doesn't give you ammunition for the fact, okay, it's the victory for Bazball. That's what the propagandists would say at this point in time.
No, I think Michael Vaughan, in his own sarcastic way, did put this whole moral victory thing to rest, where he said, no, we don't play for result, we don't. Well, how would it matter 3-2 or whatever? Yeah, you could feel good. Not too many teams have come to India and done 3-2, fine. But nobody remembers that, right? You came, you lost another series, you went. And that's what, again, that's what India has achieved. Whatever happens in this test match. Yeah, you could make your fans happy. The 5,000, the rumored 5,000 that have turned up, because I don't see 5,000 people or 5,000 English fans. By the way, I don't see too many fans. It's such a pity. Beautiful ground. I would have thought more people turned up. Maybe over the weekend you'll see.
Over the weekend,
from cities
Friday.
like Delhi, Chandigarh, people could drive down and then watch it.
Hope they do.
Yeah, but abysmal crowds at the ground. The only crowds that you can see are the English fans, but they're clearly not 5,000. That's for sure. And the way the test match panning out to be, maybe it deserves a better crowd in the stadium. Maybe weekend is the time.
I know, because see, the India-Australia BGT crowd was huge. Stadium was swamped. And if you look at it, maybe the context also has a meaning in this particular thing, because see, the series
is sealed.
There the series was at stake right until day 3 of the 4th test. Right until there. Here, you already won the series, plus yet again for the second straight time, Dharamshala is without some star players. I mean, Virat didn't play in Dharamshala in 2017. Here also he's not played. And
But in terms of a crowd puller, it's only Virat who's not there. Who else? Everyone else is there. There's a Bumrah,
Bumrah's
there's an
back,
Ashwin,
there's a
there's
Rohit.
a Rohit, there's everyone there.
yeah, still I think maybe it's too
KL
cold.
unless you, but I don't think so. As big a crowd
Maybe
puller
it's
as
too cold.
Virat.
Maybe they'll come around the afternoon time, evening time.
I
Maybe.
doubt. I think again you would have had some sort of an indication right now that's missing. And again, I think India you quite expect weekdays to not people. Again, it's not that culture in the country where you see people taken off or just skip work.
Or are the ticket rates too high?
See, one
They're
thing.
ready to pay 1 crore for an India-Pakistan game.
But that is India, Pakistan, and the US.
Yeah, but
But for Dharamshala,
put it in context. That means whatever be the price of this will dwarf in comparison to what's happening.
Yeah,
Let's not even put the ticket price.
Maybe they could have done something what the Hyderabad Cricket Association
see, only
did. That at
Hyderabad-
least they made water free. They made
school children came.
school
A lot
children.
of places, school children were, okay, and that's a reality. A lot of places, school children were brought in. Whether they're interested or not, they are told that you have to be at the ground. They may go into the bus. And I think it's a good thing because that's where, the love for the sport starts. I agree all of that. But it was done primarily because you did not want empty grounds. And by the way, the ticket prices are so cheap in India, it's not even that. But the thing is, nobody turns up to watch test matches.
Yeah.
The broadcaster, you see, Indian cricket has also somewhere down the line accepted that we're not going to be making money through gate money. Right? So gate money is no more even looked at by the stakeholders of the sport as a revenue source. They don't. They know it's going to be empty. So where do they make money? Through television rights. For television, it does not look very good or exciting for people to tune in when you got empty grounds. So for that purpose, a lot of these kids are brought in at the behest of the stakeholders, more so the broadcasters who do not want empty stands, and then kids are got in to fill the stadiums, and that's what happened during this series.
Very common trend in Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Lot of school and college guys will be gotten for free. Sri Lanka in particular, most of the test matches you look at, It's only school children.
I wish it was like that when I was a school kid. There was never. I had to buy tickets. I had to source tickets
Same.
to go and watch matches.
In that era,
Test matches also.
In that era, test matches would run to packed houses
I
every
went
time.
and saw a test match against England. The match was done and dusted. You know that whatever the last day, 1 hour
93.
plays. Yeah, I think it was 93. You're right.
Yeah.
5th day it went to
Chennai, Kolkata, Bombay.
Yeah, I saw the Kolkata.
Kolkata you
I
went
went
to,
to
right?
the 5th day only because the game had been decided.
Yeah.
It's done. But 5th day, that 1 hour, just happy just to even.
Was there a player you really wanted to see?
No, just the India match, yeah. India match. I
That
still
was
bought
the-
a ticket for that. I must be very cheap. I agree
Yeah.
because it's test match.
Yeah.
That time, Kolkata had that capacity of 1 lakh.
1
plus.
lakh,
Yes.
yeah.
I miss that
And still
particular.
it was quite crowded.
Yeah.
It's still crowded.
I remember
Tell you
93.
what the score was at that time.
Yeah, I think it was the first test match of the series or second.
I can't remember now.
Because third was Bombay. I remember that particular series. I had gone to the Wankhede at that time. But that Wankhede and this Wankhede, I can't even identify it. It's been revamped in such a way. So, two matches at the Wankhede which I have got for that cauldron-like atmosphere. One is the 93-94 match in Bombay, the India-England. Wankhede 96 World Cup match, India-Australia. Man, oh man. That was truly amazing. So, Kolkata was the first, I think was the first. Chennai was second, and I think third was Bombay, 93-94. Yes.
Yeah.
It was 7 ODIs, 3 tests, 7 ODIs. Series was tied 3-3 because the one in Ahmedabad was cancelled because of riots. So, that was the situation. But apart from that, yeah, I mean, until 2000s, you had good capacity, you had good attendances in test matches. After that, it's dipped.
Yeah, it was the 5th day. India just had to knock off a few runs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, India were 36 for no loss, needing 80 to win.
80, yeah.
So, they were 36 for no loss. So, they had to get another 50 runs with 10 wickets in hand.
Yeah.
So, I just went to see those 50 runs. At least you get to see.
I know.
you
That
know,
too in
so
that
that's
Eden Gardens. Man,
That
oh
Eden.
man.
So that I'm saying now, look at it. Free, they asked, come watch. By the way, word on Kuldeep Yadav before we forget, the record-in-chief, the one who's picked up 2 wickets as always, made his debut here, playing his 11th, is this 11th test match and the same venue where he made his debut in a span of 7 years now.
7
Been
years.
7 years since he made his debut, only playing his 11th test match. This bowler, what a pity.
Pity, I
What a
mean.
pity.
But again, his career overlapped with the likes of Ashwin and Jadeja. He just
Jadeja.
couldn't drop at home conditions. And Rohit also mentioned in the PC, I mean, see, if he wanted to get our batting also depth, and Aksar stepped up. Kuldeep in the 2019-20 and 21 period didn't step up with the bat that often. Now he is taking his batting very seriously from that 2022 series against Bangladesh. I mean, that partnership he had with Dhruv Jurel in Ranchi, that itself turned the entire game on its head, 130 runs. So that's why Kuldeep, the batter, now is starting to show more promise, but at the start he was primarily known for his 1D skill, which was his
By the way, I'm just reminded of, because I just wished him. Today is the anniversary of Sunny Gavaskar's 10,000.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
First man to
Pakistan.
climb Mount 10K.
Pakistan, right?
First,
Bengaluru.
yes.
Yes,
First
yes.
man ever.
He didn't know he'd crossed it, right? I think, or maybe that's when he broke the century record, that he didn't know
No,
that.
that he would have known for sure.
I think he didn't know the 10,000.
10,000.
That
That
may have
more
been the
possible.
10,000. Yeah. Okay, let's take questions.
10,122.
Today is
runs.
the anniversary.
Yep. 34 test runs, the gold standard of Indian cricket.
Yes. Let's start. Thompson de Cruz says Kuldeep's going to be a legend. Can spin it on glass. Absolutely agree. Today, not really spin friendly conditions, yet he does the trick. Both googlies. Pope though was made to look foolish. Let's be
Yes,
honest. Made to
Absolutely,
look foolish.
absolutely.
And what was he doing? Dancing down the pitch.
Yeah.
If this is
A
the
brain
turning
fade.
point,
Exactly.
if this is the turning point after, we didn't say that, after the English media quoted the root shot as the stupidest. Will this be another
Yes.
such?
I mean,
story?
imagine.
He had his palm on his face, like, what did I do, dear Lord?
It
I
was
had
like a
it-
Rahane in the WTC. He just did this. Oh, what have I done?
Yeah.
Yeah, if wickets fall in a heap in the second session, you know who to blame now. Blame the Pope. Blame the Pope. Satish B is like saying Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins or Shami, Bumrah, Siraj.
By the way, can I say something before you?
Yeah.
I'm reminded. Imagine if today on this pitch a Shami was bowling.
Ooh.
That straight seam landing here today.
In, out,
Oh
in,
boy,
out.
oh boy, it would have
I
been
know.
just next level. You know why I'm saying? Because he will not have relied so much on the edge rather than leg befores and bowled. And he would have got a couple for sure.
And he keeps it stump
In
to
these-
stump.
That's what I'm saying. Closer runs very close to the stump, landing it bang on the seam here today would have been a sight to watch.
I
Yeah,
know.
treat.
Seriously. Imagine Bumrah and Siraj are playing the first test in Dharamshala. And Shami hasn't.
Yeah.
What a pity.
Sorry. Yeah. Back to the
Satish B is like saying Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins or Shami, Bumrah, Siraj. Let's be neutral. Which is the best trio? According to Satish B, he feels that Australia bowling attack is lethal with 3 ICC trophies and 1 WTC.
I'm with Satish. I tell you why. Because in this list, I think Siraj doesn't have that kind of experience or wickets to back him.
Yep.
He's got the talent for sure, no denying that. But the other 3 that you mentioned have all, trophies under their belt, experience,
Success in
total-
most conditions.
and like number of wickets to show, number of test matches to show, all of that put together. I agree. Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same here. Me too.
Yeah.
Ashish Dhar. Nikhil, loved your analysis of root reverse scoop. Can do a similar analysis of Rohit's pull shot because Rohit falls prey to this shot repeatedly.
Good shout. I could do it. The only thing is that we need context. So let him get out to a pull shot.
Yeah.
He did last match.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
now.
Now.
Right? See, we're in the business news. What's trending? What people are
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
So as soon as that happens, that will be.
But
like
he still, I'm saying even if he does get out, but his success rate to the short ball is still going to be overshadowing, let's say, an odd dismissal here.
But that's what I did with Root. So I actually looked at numbers of how often has he played it.
I think
how
9
many runs has
dismissals
he
for
got.
him, right?
Yeah. No. That was only the
2 dismissals.
Second.
Out
so
of 60
how many
balls.
has he played? How many runs he has scored in that previously? So it was broken down like that, which is what he is saying that maybe for. So what that did prove was that while everyone called it a stupid shot, but if I was Root, I wouldn't mind playing it because it had given him that
More
kind of
dividends.
Yeah.
300 strike rate.
So in case of, let's say, we sometimes just look at it from the top and say, why is he playing this shot? He's gotten out. But you don't look at the numbers that if he's doing better with that shot than all other shots that he's playing and the results are better, then why will he not play it? So just doing a deep dive, digging out the real numbers. So which is why I say would be interesting for Rohit as well to see whether that is conducive or not.
Okay.
Yeah, numbers will tell us, but that takes a long time
It will.
to pull those numbers out. We could do it, but I'm saying just need a context for that. Okay, Priyanshu is saying, Nikhil sir and Siddharth, till when do you see Rohit, Virat and Ashwin play tests? Congo to Ashwin, Anna. Absolutely, yeah.
I will say 2025 WTC final if India get there. They are playing certified until that time.
Yeah, I would say that will be like a moment. But as I said, with Ashwin, he could play for longer. If he's still competitive, if he's still one of your top wicket takers, to be an off spinner, I don't think fitness really comes into play. You could.
I mean, loss of form or injuries, that's the only way it can be. See,
can
Anil
go-
Kumble also retired because not be too poor form. I think injuries took a toll on him.
Yeah. Oh, and Ashwin's also had a few injuries. Lately, it's been all right.
Side
The
strain,
only
back
way I
spasms.
think fitness may not be the issue even after the 25 WTC final. I'm just looking as to what the incentive then could be because 27 could be too far then. And then what's the incentive then to be available for the next WTC cycle but not complete it then.
See, by 2027, Rohit and Ashwin will both be close to 40. That's one. Then you've got Virat who's approaching 40. Then where is the transition period then? That you have to see. Then you're delaying your transition by a lot of things. So that's why.
Yeah.
So that is the way I look at it. Sridhar Deshpande is saying, hey guys, I don't think any of you are born before 1960. No. So please say it Mumbai rather than Bombay that it used to be before 1960s.
Why? Yeah, it's a free word.
And anyway, Bombay to Mumbai हुआ in 1995.
So 60 से क्या है?
60s and onwards, it's Bombay.
This is the Chidambaram Stadium. I still call it Chepauk.
Chepauk, yeah.
It's because
I
of the
also
area,
call it
yeah.
Khittarama.
Yeah.
I also call Holland.
Yeah.
I don't say Netherlands.
By the way, in Sri Lanka, if you say I want to go to the Premadasa, a lot of people are offended. They say, "Oh, what is Premadasa?" So
Yeah, but
stadium,
it's still your
it's
choice.
Khittarama.
Yeah, but it's still your choice if you said Premadasa.
Yeah. But they do get
Right.
offended by it.
If I was signing an official document and I wrote Bombay instead of Mumbai, then I agree. And in my, let's say if my place of birth was that, then I would have to write Mumbai. Oh, this is a talk, it's a conversation.
Yep.
I could say whatever.
Until 1995, it was known as Bombay. That's the thing. So
Yeah, and each place goes through name changes. And if I call Sri Lanka Ceylon as well.
Ceylon.
In conversation. I can't write it on an official document or in an article if I write.
Yeah.
I can, in my conversation, mention what I want to.
Yeah.
And I was born and visited that place when it was Bombay.
I was born in Bombay in 1984.
So I know of that place as Bombay.
This is why I still call a certain area across the border as Gurgaon, not Gurugram.
Exactly.
exactly.
Gurgaon. Not, we still do Gurgaon,
Yeah.
not Gurugram.
Exactly.
I still call it Allahabad and not Prayagraj.
Prayagraj. Yeah. And we also often call it Calcutta. And by the way, all the
I say it Calcutta all the
Calcutta.
time. Because I stayed in that place when it was Calcutta, not
and
Goa.
all the high courts, they're still known by their old name.
Yeah,
It's
Calcutta
Bombay High
High
Court, it's
Court.
Calcutta High Court, it's Madras High Court.
True.
That's the thing. And Allahabad High Court. So, Mayur Kashyap is saying, going off topic, in the Wellington test recently, how was it possible that Lyon took 6 wickets? Basin Reserve's fast bowlers paradise with grass. Please comment. By the way, how was it possible that Glenn Phillips got 5 wickets in that particular test match? That is the bigger question. But yeah, I mean, see, it was an underprepared Basin Reserve wicket. The grass was just there to hold the wicket together. But yes, in the past, the Basin often has been swinging and seaming for the first 2 days. After that, it becomes an absolute road. That changed in 2023, by the way, and 2020 onwards. They prepared much more grass in it. The wicket was harder, so it gave bounce as well. So it became a fast bowler's paradise. But traditionally, the Basin, because of the wind, you get a lot of swing in that sense. By the way, it's a venue created due to an earthquake.
Yes.
Wairarapa earthquake of 1855. It raised one part of Wellington so high, the marsh got drained out. So it became natural ground.
Yep. Piyush Nandra has an interesting question. Is India coming out to bat today? Too early to say. But if you had to take a guess?
No.
No.
Batting conditions, no.
No. Okay. Mayur Kashyap says, going off topic a little bit.
That we took.
you
We've
took
taken,
that.
yeah.
Absam.
Absam or Absam.
Absam from Australia. Who can be the next test captain? Gill? Can't be Bumrah. Topic for another day, Absam. Because Rohit is doing a good job, by the way. Next 2 years we are
just
sorted.
going forward, but
It has to be Shubman Gill.
Gill, of course, has to be there in conversation.
Bumrah, would you already want to saddle him with a...
But you're only looking at this as a serious discussion, let's say,
After 2025.
2025, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Ashish Dhar, IPL auctions in 1983. Players to look out.
Oh!
That demands a whole new episode, my friend.
Yeah.
Ah,
for me, I know
it'll be interesting.
No, Kapil Dev, the biggest.
Biggest.
And second would be Viv
Again,
Richards.
it's happening. If
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're looking globally.
globally,
Yeah.
Viv.
Viv could be the highest too.
Yeah.
Oh,
And all the, I would
think
pick
it'll
all
be
the 4 West Indies bowlers. Just
Kapil Dev only would have been the highest.
Yeah, because Indian
Indian,
players
again,
can play
look at the
for
context.
But
You
I
win the
would-
World Cup this year. Actually, you had won the T20 World Cup, and then
So one of the young kid that time would go for a lot. would
Chris
be
Shrikant.
Martin Crowe would go for
Yeah,
a lot of money,
Martin Crowe.
just emerging onto the scene.
Yep. Hadley.
Yeah.
All the 4 West Indies bowlers.
Thomo around that time.
But Tomo, didn't he go in the 80s?
No,
itself?
he.
Lily.
Lily to fought.
Oh,
yeah.
Lily did not play 83 World Cup. He
Yeah.
played a few games, but he was fighting with the
Yeah.
captain. But
Border would have been a good pick. Alan Border. You needed a captain.
yeah, Border. Yeah.
Border was emerging at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Young kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
Uh, There would have been some good players at the time.
Miandad, why not?
Oh yes,
yeah.
Mehndad.
Imran would have been a good pick.
Kadir, was he playing or Abdul Kadir?
He didn't play 83.
He played 87.
Yeah.
Abdul Kadir.
Didn't think he played 83.
Yeah.
Check.
So all those guys.
Some good player. Bob Willis would have been there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Bob Willis, David Gower.
David Gower.
But yeah, he's talking about top picks. I think Kapil and Viv would have been
Viv,
top two
Viv.
picks. 100%.
Yeah. Exactly. And those 4 West Indies pacers.
Even Greenwich.
Oh yeah.
Aggressive batter. Huh?
Even Haynes for that matter.
If you needed a solid number 3, you had Mohinder Amarnath.
Yeah.
Mohinder, in his dibbly dobblies and solid batting.
But that's another episode.
Yeah,
We'll do it another time. Now the players started and want to see that.
Yep.
Quick predictions in terms of what happened in this session.
205 for 5. Meaning 105 for 3.
105 for 3.
Okay, 205 for 5.
I'll go to 20 for 4.
220 for 4. I am going. Okay, let me also go 5. Wicket wise 5. And runs I'm going 210.
210 for 5.
210 for 5.
Yep.
Okay, see you guys. Tea time, which will be our lunch time.
Yes.
Bye. Take care.
Bye bye. Oh,
wicket.